Y'all need to help Stephen Phillips out over there. Out the door and off the radio.
Here's Stephen Phillips.
All righty, we're walking in, folks. Hope everybody's doing all right today on this Wednesday. This is the Wild Wednesday. Gary Chapman is not with us. He is on a big boat somewhere in the middle of the Gulf of America, which is officially the Gulf of America. What do you think, Pat? You didn't think it'd be done. It's done.
The Gulf of Texas or the Gulf of Mexico down there?
No,
Is that where it is?
It's not. It's the Gulf of America. It's
My map still says the Gulf of Mexico.
Google's done changed it. I'm telling you. It's the Gulf of America, son. There's change in the air. Did you watch the, what's her name, Carolyn, with the press secretary? Did you watch her?
I did.
Man, she rocked it. I would say a 10 out of a 10. What do you think?
For what? Content or appearance?
Everything, man.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah.
I just wondered how you were rating.
Google Maps says U.S. users will see Trump's new name for Gulf of America.
Gulf of America.
Starting soon. It doesn't say it today, does it?
That don't matter. It don't matter. It's
I know. Nothing matters to you.
It says as soon as it's updated in the U.S. government system, we'll see it.
Aha. Okay.
Yeah.
So they're waiting for the government to change it.
You pragmatist. They done changed it. Trump changed it. It's ready to go. It's ready to go.
So we're doing trivia right away this morning. We're not waiting until the end of the show. And my trivia question is, how many MAGAs does it take to argue with a pragmatist?
Okay, that's a trivia question. Y'all call in and answer that, and you can win.
No, I'm asking you. It's your trivia question. How many MAGAs does it take, huh?
Well, here's the thing. You got, one MAGA, they try to convince you of the facts, and then the other MAGA's like, I can't believe he don't believe that. Then they try to argue you the facts, and it just keeps going. Just like we're arguing the Gulf of America. It's not the Gulf of America. It's a Gulf of Mexico.
MAGAs can't do one-on-one, right? They got to have multiples. And my answer was going to be normally 2, but 3 on Wednesdays.
Oh, okay. There you go.
But Gary didn't show today, huh?
Gary didn't show. We've got comments coming up. Put them up, Pat. We can see what's going on.
Answer to the trivia question is all of them, because the pragmatist is illogical.
Oh, there you go. Now you got your answer. How about that?
You know what's really illogical? Calling a pragmatist illogical is illogical.
So you can't argue with him. You can't argue with him. You can't argue with him.
The whole point of a pragmatist is logic and facts.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, okay. So what did you think about the press secretary? Do you not think she was spot on? I mean, she was quick. She knew what she was talking about.
I thought she did a good job. A lot of energy.
When you get them, the folks up there and they go, that tells me that they're not on point. You know what I'm saying? It tells me, they're having to think about it. You know what I mean? Exactly.
Just trying to help you out here.
I'm going to answer this question the third time. Y'all asked me this question 3 times. And here's the cool part about it. Here's the cool thing about that. And we're going to get into talking about all government waste here in a little while, but we got to get this off. Anybody that is a news outlet anywhere, whether podcasters or anybody that tells the truth, is welcome to come to the press room. And I have filled out an application. So you're going to see Stephen Phillips in the press room, I'm sure, because I filled out my credentials.
That does not say the truth according to Stephen Phillips.
Oh, man, I get to ask all kinds of cool questions.
It just says the truth. It's just that holistic approach,
Yeah, I'm going to, you wait.
What kind of questions would you ask?
What?
What would you ask?
Right off the get-go?
Dear Trump, what are you doing to keep transgenders out of NASCAR?
The first question I'd ask that press secretary is whether or not, what was their marital status?
Oh, you pervert. Will you marry me? That's what he asked.
I didn't ask her to marry me. I just asked if she was open to dating.
Oh, are you interested in you believe in love at first sight? That's it. There you go. You old weirdo. She's pretty sharp, though, man. She's pretty sharp.
Is sharp.
We got what's the comments up there, Pat? He's over there surfing the net looking for How are you doing?
We won't talk about that.
Okay.
I put our link up there, so if you guys want to join the show on YouTube, it's on there. So just click that link and,
Oh boy, that ought
join
to
the
be
show.
a train wreck.
Yeah, let's see what happens. Brad Allwine said, okay, let's go from the top here. Nate Carter listening to us. Good morning, Nate. Also, Kim Dwyer, the voice of reason has arrived.
Which one, me or him?
I got my hand up.
I'm
claiming it.
Brad Allwine can't wait till we buy Canada so that we no longer have to have vaccines to travel.
Yeah, how about that, man? I'm telling you, they have actually reinstated the military who was fired because they didn't take the jab and give them back pay. I mean, that right there, good for Trump, good for America. Do you not think? What do you think, Pat?
I think it's probably a good gesture. I don't know how many people will actually take advantage of it.
Well, it's there anyway, right?
Yeah, that's what I said. I think it's a good gesture
at this point. So, it's not like you're mandatory, your rights. You have to do this. You have to go back to the military. You have to take it. You don't. But anyway, they offered it there. It's still a free country now.
Well, you do have to do some things.
Right. Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, yeah, you have to have like a driver's license, right?
Well, if they was already in the military, unless they're transgender, then they ain't letting them back in. But I think all of them took it.
Brad Allwine, I rest my case. Kim Dwyer, she'd eat Pat's lunch.
Oh, yeah, she would.
Oh, sounds like a challenge.
There you go.
Nick Ortiz.
You need to subscribe so she can get on and we can talk to her.
Hey, we lost a subscriber. Somebody unsubscribed us. We know when they do that. We know when you unsubscribe. We know.
We know who you
Came
are.
right after you said something, didn't it?
Yeah, you
I'm
unsubscribe.
not watching that fool anymore.
Anybody says we don't have anybody sophisticated who listens to our show, that's wrong because we've got Nick, and Nick is an Englishman.
Yeah, dang
new-
right he is. He's
The new
from
press
England.
secretary.
Is that English Nick from 97 The River?
Yeah, I think so. I don't know. Who knows?
Yeah,
Oh,
when
well.
he's on a break, he listens to our show.
Yeah.
Okay.
We gotta get to a break. We got a lot to talk about. We have, this crazy government spending. I mean, they were talking about it, and it's just an eye opener where they spent what, $50 million. How much was it? $500 million, $500 billion. How much they spend on condoms? Our government, man, is spending our tax money on condoms.
Let's pause for a second. Do you know what we're talking about, Pat?
No, I do not.
How do you not know?
Because I don't go to Cat Turd. That's why I don't know.
Okay, it's all
Well,
over.
if you watched her, the press secretary, she stated it. How much was it, Pat?
It says, okay, Newsweek, Fox News, The Independent, White House.
Right.
Let's see, Donald Trump blocks $50 million of funding for condoms in Gaza.
There you go, $50 million.
Okay, Mr. Pratt.
So we're gonna get to break. We're gonna talk about that when we get back. We're gonna talk about that when we get back because
You want those sheep getting pregnant?
He said that. I didn't say that. You racist.
Hey.
I reckon. Wow. Oh, Trump figured out that the spending $50 million on condoms wasn't the protection the taxpayers were looking for. So that's kind of where we're at with that. Bless his heart. I'm glad for that. We got to get to a break. Can you hang on your thoughts? Anybody want to weigh in on this? Feel free to put it up there and we'll post it and we'll talk about it. All righty, we're back with you. Hope everybody's doing good. And we've got all kinds of comments. Packy, what we got? Anything good going on up there? Let's rock this thing, man. Government spending at its best. What we got?
English Nick says the new press secretary is married with an infant child. Pat.
Okay, moving on.
Brad Allwine says they give illegals driver's licenses in states like Alabama. Makes it easier to vote.
Yeah, but in Alabama, it's hard to get anybody to get a driver's license down there. You seen how they drive? They're terrible. They're terrible drivers.
We got Kim Dwyer, press secretary. Ronnie Maxwell, dang, Pat, like Jimmy Carter, you're guilty of lusting.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I never killed a rabbit with a canoe paddle.
Yeah, but he's a Lutheran. He worships Lutherans, and so it's okay in his religion.
Kim Dwyer, probably the smartest $50 million we spend to keep them from at least reproducing.
Yeah, well, you do.
I noticed that a number of the news outlets are also saying there's no proof that $50 million was spent.
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
So they're lying to us.
Yeah. You're interested in the truth, but not interested in getting to it.
Here's something
because the news is always truthful, right?
Yeah,
Pat?
they tell us everything. Here's the thing, though,
Well.
Pat. They're saying that they're taking some of these dang condoms and making bombs out of them. I don't know what kind. I guess that'd be a dirty bomb, wouldn't it? I don't know, but that's what they're doing with them. They ain't got balloons over there, What else? Is that about it, Pat?
Yeah, I'm.
Packy. I get y'all mixed up. Y'all got the same dang name.
We got the same haircut too.
Yeah.
Drew Vogel says they don't need condoms in Gaza. They're going to need to replenish their population over there.
I hope they get better than what they did.
Nate Carter, why condoms? Just spray them with chemtrails.
Yeah, there you go. There you go.
Little too much too early, says Kim Dwyer. And Rebel Boy says, shout out to the morning show. Love it.
There you go. We rocking it this morning. Hey, here's a couple of more, for instances, on government spending that Pat Malone's going to look on his CNN platform and say it's not true. But according to the reports I've got here, that the Department of Health and Human Services spent $419,470. That's pretty accurate. On studies to determine if lonely rats use cocaine more than happy rats. How about that?
Just another study that's useless, right?
Well, we spent
what's the point?
$1,000 on it.
What's the point?
Your tax money spent.
No, what's the point of doing a study like that?
Well, I think.
I mean, come on, Stephen.
I'll tell you
I told you guys back in the 70s there was a senator from Wisconsin,
right?
Senator Proxmire, who had things called the Golden Fleece Award, wasteful spending in government. Right. And it was just as funny as your $50 million on comments back then. And it was true then, and it's probably true now. And we haven't done a darn thing about it in 60, 70, 50 years.
But what's your point? But that's the point that they're trying to do now, is actually do something
and
about
then you
it.
say, oh, it's not true.
Proxmire was trying to do something about it. Every administration coming along has been trying to do something about it.
Hey, but Trump did something about it.
He's doing it.
What did he do?
He froze the aid for condoms.
Yeah.
I don't think he did. I think the judge put a block on that order, didn't he?
Judge, here we go. Here comes the judge. Yeah, he knows more than the American people.
Don't let the law get in the way of a good story, Stephen.
Oh, you kidding me? Now, why would the judge do that? Why would the judge do that?
Because his order was such a blanket covering everything from condoms in Gaza to school lunches in Cherokee County.
It did not. And she's actually talked about that. It does not hurt anything as far as the local.
It does not hurt anything to where the money goes to an individual. If the money goes to an organization, they were in the stop.
I'm just glad they're doing it now. I don't care what happened in the 70s. Better latex than never.
But now here's another thing on this
cocaine.
What did
you say? Better latex than never?
Right.
Is that what he said?
That's a dad joke, man. Here's something that I can't confirm this. But this is from I'm not going to say who it is, but anyway, it's high-tech stuff. But anyway, on this study to determine if lonely rats use cocaine more than happy rats, I think that according to what I've got, Hunter Biden was actually over that study. So that could be a possibility. I don't know. It might not be true. It could be true. It could not, but Hunter Biden was actually the head of that study. So we did get that out.
That's a new motto for the morning dish.
Well,
it could be true, but probably not.
I like that, actually. That's got a nice ring to it.
How about they awarded the National Endowment for the Arts awarded 10,000 of your taxpayers' dollars to a climate change themed drag queen ice skating show. How about that? That's something we needed. $10,000. And I think you probably went to that. Did you go to that show, Pat? How was it?
We're probably going to have to change your name to William Proxmire.
I'm just saying. Can you not fact?
That's all I'm doing is just saying.
$10,000 for an ice skating show. Drag
That's a
queen.
broken record that's been played for 50 years now.
You're just mad because you went to that.
So
thing.
this says that the Planned Parenthood is criticizing this move by Trump with the condoms because it's hurting women's and their sexual and reproductive health care in Gaza. So Planned Parenthood's freaking out about it, and a federal judge blocked it, citing the condoms. So it looks like there is funding going for condoms over there.
Hey, $20 says this.
I'm
hey,
sure
wait,
there
wait,
is,
wait,
Peggy.
20
That wasn't the issue.
$20 says this judge has got stock in the condom industry. $20 says that the judge has got stock in the condom industry. Follow the money. Follow the money. Yeah.
Just spray them with that anti-reproductive spray. What's it called? Contrails.
Chemtrail.
Chemtrails.
What else we got up there, Pat? We got all kinds of comments.
We got all kinds of stuff on here. Let's see.
Where'd you get
the first
to?
one. I'm trying here. Okay. Rebel Boy says, guarantee most wasteful spending is done by Democrats for sure, even on cocaine, rats, or bats. Yeah, we know what bats did, don't we?
Yeah. And they actually found out that was released over there. So that conspiracy theories has been proven, right?
Yeah, we got Drew Vogel listening to us. What's up, Drew? We got Rebel Boy says, drag queen ice skating show definitely funded by Democrats.
And pragmatist. Packy actually went to that show. How was that show? Was it pretty good?
Yeah, it was I met a lot of interesting people there.
Yeah, I bet you did. He's the only guy out there with $1 in his hand. Oh, the U.S. State Department spent $50,000 on virtual reality experience to simulate driving in Central America. Now, there's something we need to do. We need to simulate driving in Central America. 50,000 of your U.S. Why did they do that? Any ideas? Anybody know?
No.
No, I don't either. I'm going to tell you, though. You know, in India, they do not drink. They don't do anything in India, right? I mean, they're straight up, right? Am I right about that? They don't even eat chicken over there.
Okay.
But anytime you go to any of these car wreck videos, you know, where you watch car crashes of 2024, the worst car crashes in 2023, they're always from India, man. These folks are they're terrible drivers over there, and they ain't even drunk. They're sober. Man, they just run over everybody.
They'd probably be better drivers if they were drunk, huh?
Maybe.
That's
yeah.
the conclusion I could draw.
Hey, here's the National Science Foundation. That's something we need to get behind, scientists, because we know they're always right. Scientists are right. Scientists are always right. They awarded. Why do they say awarded? They should say just give, right? What's the difference in awarded and just handing it out?
Redneck in English.
Oh, okay. There you go.
I mean, that's what you claim.
1.3 million to study whether where hearing crickets chirping could be a stress reliever. $1.3 million to study whether hearing crickets chirping could be a stress reliever. They could have asked me that, and any redneck in the South, and they say, yes, absolutely. When you hear crickets, man, it's just especially when you're out camping with a campfire. You know, I could have saved them $1.3 million just like that. Do you not think?
Many of the studies that they do are to confirm stuff we already know to be true.
Why do they do that we could save that money?
I'll tell you why they do it, and you'd pay attention to Andrew Clyde, you'd know, because when they get a budget, they've got to spend every dollar, because somewhere back they repealed the president's line item veto.
Well, why don't they investigate something like would be more useful to the American people instead of
So what do you suggest needs to be investigated?
Well, here's the problem. Okay, I think we need to investigate the government. Why don't we spend it on that? There you go.
Why don't we give the government money to investigate themselves?
Hey,
I think they already do that.
Doge. We need me and Packy. We need to be the investigators. Packy find dirt on anybody. Golly, you ever see stuff he got? Well, never mind. We got the Department of Defense spent $84,000 on lobster and crab for one single dinner. $84,000. Now,
for the whole military, they didn't get much.
No, it's just for one dinner. It's like
dinner for the military.
No, it was like
There's like a couple 100,000 troops in there that need to eat.
no, it ain't for
84,000
everybody.
That was McDonald's lobster.
It was for 4 fat guys sitting at a table discussing politics and religion or something like that.
Okay.
84,000. Why can't they eat fried chicken? Why can't they just get a bucket of fried chicken for $14? What would be wrong with that?
You could feed a whole lot more troops fried chicken for
I'm with you on
$84,000.
that. We got comments firing up there right and left, Packy. What we got?
Kim Dwyer, Democrats, bats, rats, and Democrats.
Oh, that rhymes. Bats, rats, and Democrats. What rhymes with pragmatist? There you go. We need to get some of that pragmatist. He says he's a pragmatist, but folks, he's not. He's a liberal. He didn't even vote for Trump, y'all. Pat Malone did not vote for Trump.
Fake news.
It is not. We know that for a fact. We know that for a fact.
Pragmatist. I told you men can get pragmat. We got Rebel Boy. Them India drivers are racing to the new KFC there to get fried chicken.
They don't eat fried chicken. I'm telling you, they don't eat fried chicken.
I thought they eat chicken. I didn't think they ate cows because cows are sacred.
No, I don't think they eat any kind of meat or anything like that.
I agree with Steven. Need to invest in investigation of the government 100%.
The National Institute of Health funded a study costing $465,000 to determine why stress makes hair turn gray. Why'd your hair turn gray? You've been stressed all your life, there, Pat?
It's called getting old.
Oh,
It's
so
not
what it
called
is?
stress.
Well, see, you could have said 460. You could have saved him $465,000. I've been thinking about dyeing my hair gray. Well, I look more. What do you think? More distinguished.
Ain't gonna help.
You don't think it's going to help?
And which hair are you gonna dye?
The one.
Which
on the
one?
Left. The one on the left. Oh, we got the U.S. government. This is the government spent $1.7 million on a project to turn sea monkeys into biocomputers. Sea monkeys. We used to buy them sea monkeys on the back of cartoon. What's them thing called? Mad Magazine. You could buy sea monkeys on the back of Mad Magazine for
You
like.
could also buy them
$6.
at the carnivals. They used to sell sea monkeys, didn't they?
They spent $1.7 million on them.
Yeah.
Why didn't they just order them off the back of Mad Magazine?
What was the conclusion that they drew?
Oh, we got no conclusion. How come we got no conclusion?
I don't know.
That's
See?
a good point. I've never actually heard whether or not these things, I've never heard the conclusion of the study. It's like, well,
Yeah,
does it relieve stress?
it's an ongoing study.
Yeah. We
You
got
have to do it over 10 years.
Yeah.
Rebel Boy, I believe also the reason for gray hair is stress from kids. And Drew Vogel says, yeah, that's what I was thinking, Drew. They worship the cow over in India. They eat chicken.
And they worship the cow?
They worship the cow. Or at least it's sacred.
Huh. I don't know much about all that.
Only if they're Hindus.
I'm gonna tell you, sometimes I don't worship a cow, but man, I like them.
Pretty close to it, though.
Yeah, I like especially medium rare.
You do like this meditating sound over your steak.
And I'm gonna tell you, my wife gets mad at me, but when I order a T-bone steak, I just pick the bone up like you do fried chicken. You know, you can't eat fried chicken with a fork. You have to eat with
That's against the law.
but like the bone, everybody just kind of picks off the bone with their fork. But I just pick that sucker up and eat it just like I do a piece of fried chicken. Because there's a lot of meat left on the bone. You know what I'm saying? Do you do that, Pat?
No, I used a knife and a fork.
Yeah, but look how much meat
and a
leaves on the bone.
napkin.
Yeah. What about you? You got your shirt sleeves. You don't even need napkins. And do you eat with both hands on the table or just one?
I eat with both hands on the table.
Yeah, I got to put my elbows up on the table.
No, not elbows, hands.
No, I put my elbows on the table, man. I'm like a pit bull, man. I'm like a pit bull when they throw a steak on there.
Okay.
Yeah.
And do you wear your Senator Fetterman shorts?
No,
No?
that's Packy's thing there. National Science Foundation provide $750,000 grant to study the physical and mental health benefits of taking selfies. Oh, I feel so good. I feel so much better because I took a selfie. This is actually going on in the world today that we live in, and they wonder why our budget is over.
Been going on for years.
Yeah. We need some more dad jokes there, Pat.
But don't you think we should fix it, though, Pat? Don't you think?
I think we should have fixed it back then. We should fix it now. But what I really think is we're not going to.
I think you're wrong because I see it turning, man. I see he put a lot of
What's turned?
He put a freeze on it, and then this judge says you can't do that, and he's like, wait a minute, we need to put a freeze on everything and see. We need to look and see where our money's going. They almost spent how much they sent it to the World Health Organization that we pulled out of. They was fixing to send them a bunch of money, even though we just pulled out of
37 billion.
They were fixing to send $37 billion to the World Health Organization that we pulled out of. Now, if we'd have sent that money to them, would we have got it back?
No,
that's exactly right. So yes, he's right. We need to freeze spending and see where the checks. Nobody knows. Everybody's just up there with our money, just tossing it up in the air, rolling around. Yeah, we're rich. We got all this money.
Condoms everywhere. But he rolling around like Scrooge McDuck.
Yeah.
He needs to do it legally.
Oh,
remember,
there's that.
Remember, we are a land of laws. A country
so how do you
founded on the rule of law.
How do you legally have a moron that's so stupid that is up there that says, hey, I'm going to send this money to the World Health Organization, even though we're not a member of the World Health Organization?
We're not out of the World Health Organization yet.
Well, but we're going to be. So I ain't.
Yes. Okay. So if there was money due,
you ain't getting it.
They did it. Sure.
No, I ain't sending it to them.
That's the law, Stephen. Jeez, how do you miss the concept here?
Okay, so we're pulling out of the World Health Organization, but before we do that, we're going to send them all that money.
In the process of pulling it out, we have commitments.
I ain't got no commitments. If I quit, I'm done.
I know.
Yeah, I'm out of here.
You need to be committed. That's why you don't have any commitments.
Like Packy, he had that little fella of his over at the hospital, and he got him home, and then they sent him a bill for it. He's like, I done got my kid home now. I ain't paying it.
I'll pay you.
What the heck? You're so stupid. I just say no, man. They ain't doing nothing but screwing us over anyway. I mean, they tried to kill us, and that's one thing about we'll talk about that when we come back. That jab that we took, and they said it was actually found that it was released from the, what is it called, the Wuhan.
Yeah, was it the CIA that came out yesterday?
FBI.
FBI. Well, just recently, though. The FBI had already said that.
Right.
Yeah, well, okay. I think it was the CIA that confirmed it.
But I thought that was a conspiracy theory.
You said it didn't. It come from bats. That's what you said. It come from
That's what the news told us, is it came from bats, Pat.
Yeah.
So that's what we should believe.
The news told us there was a possibility that that's where it came from. There were two potential sources.
Okay. And everybody knew the truth.
100% wrong.
It took them 5 years to figure out where
wrong.
it actually
they
came
censored
from.
everybody who talked about the lab leak theory. Pulled them off of YouTube.
Yeah.
Pulled us off of YouTube.
Yeah, they kicked us off.
We had a warning for that
4 times. They kicked us off. I
had a warning for Stephen.
Hey man, I just tell it like it is. Hit the high spots, let the rough end drag. We'll talk about that when we come back. Got more comments up there. We need to get to a break. So hang around, give us a subscribe for us, man. We actually lost a subscriber yesterday. I don't know who you are, but we don't like you no more. But anyway, we're gonna. All righty, we're back with you. Everybody's doing good. We got comments going wild out there. Everybody's listening this morning. What we got, Pat?
Drew Vogel says the government hasn't been in favor of the American people recently. They've been bending the law for the illegals for the last 4 years. We can bend the rule a little bit to get it done.
Yeah,
right.
So it's okay to bend the law if somebody else bends the law.
You can't go nowhere if you go by the book, man.
Stephen, I got a question for you because
we go.
You raised the issue before the break.
We talking about condoms.
Why is there such a preoccupation with the COVID vaccine? It seems to me that the only people who continue to talk about it are those people who didn't take it.
Right.
And that is fine. They didn't take it. But I get the feeling you're trying to convince them that they're trying to convince themselves how smart they were not to take it.
Here's the problem I've got, Pat.
Okay.
How many people lost their lives because of this? How many people lost their lives because of COVID? And the question that I want to ask you is, how come some people didn't make it and other people did? I got it. It didn't affect me all that much. And I actually had flu-vid. I had the flu on top of COVID. Why was my body able to handle it? And then you got other people that couldn't.
What's that got to do with the vaccine question?
This was designed designed in a laboratory. And the vaccine, the problem with the vaccine right now is they actually come out with a study, and Packy can pull that up, that I might be wrong, but I don't think I am. Right now, heart attacks are the #1 killer for people in America over cancer or anything else.
Heart attacks have been the #1 killer for years before
And
the
we know that blood clots and fluid around the heart is some of the after effects of the vaccine.
Okay.
So my
By
question
your own admission, you sent me information that Kennedy had developed that there were 1.4 million adverse incidences from people taking the shot, right?
that's a lot of people.
That's a lot of people.
Mhm.
The problem is there were 678 million shots given between 20 and 21.
Right.
The number of adverse incidents then is 0.2%.
Yeah, but it ain't over yet, Pat. They're still going. It's still going. Did you take the shot?
Give me the line about the truth will come out. I love that.
It has
Just wait, the truth will come out.
Okay. Where did the vaccine actually come from? I mean, where did the COVID come from?
It came from the lab.
Okay, but what was we told?
We were told it could have been the lab. It could have been the wet market.
But yeah, okay.
That's not what we were told. That's incorrect, Pat. They censored you for saying that it came from a lab. Yeah. We were censored for saying that.
Yes, we were.
We were taken off of YouTube for that. The new doctors were lost their license over that. We weren't told that at all.
And we've got these dumb.
You can't rewrite history.
Well,
like
you're reading cat turd then.
And then we ain't got Gary here today. We ain't got Gary here today. But if he was here, he would tell you that the scientist that he is involved with RFK, and he was out there for all that. He's doing the MCing for all these shows they're doing across the country where they're actually trying to find a cure for the vaccine now to reverse the procedure that it made your body do.
Okay, according to Carolyn Kennedy, Robert Kennedy is against vaccines for children, but his own kids are vaccinated.
How old is his kids?
I have no idea.
Well,
what's the point here?
Take a stab. How old is his kids?
I don't know. How old is he? He looks like he's about 60, so that would put his kids about 30.
Okay, so 30 years ago, he had a kid. 30 years ago, when all this stuff wasn't coming out. Let me just put, Packy, how do you feel about vaccines with your child? You got a brand new baby boy.
I think that I think that polio would suck, and I think that if your kid were to get polio and there's a vaccine out there for it, I think you'd feel pretty stupid if your kid got polio. Right. But at the same time, I think that the fact that they want to stick your kid with how many is 60 vaccines by the time they're a year old. I think that is insanity, and there's no way in hell that I'd ever do that to my kid.
There you go.
But I'm not anti-vaccine, and actually, Pat, if you'd actually read if you'd actually listen to what RFK says, RFK is not anti-vaccine like everybody makes him out.
Yeah, I know. He's doing that now, right?
No, he's not.
Isn't that called walking it back?
No, that's actually not true at all. If you've actually listened to what he says he's kind of like me, where you're not just going to stick them with 1,000 shots the day that they're born. Mm-hmm. When my baby boy was born, they were like, here, let's stick them with this. And we're like, no, whoa, slow down a minute. We don't need hepatitis B. I don't think he's going to be having sex with a bunch of dudes right now. You know what I'm saying? You don't need to do that. You don't need all these shots at first.
I think that's perfectly fine for a parent to make those decisions.
Exactly. Right. And here's why. There are a lot of things in those shots that if you were to, and then call poison control and say, hey, I just ingested, aluminum, and they'd say, well, you probably need to go to a hospital because you're going to die. Yeah, maybe the amount is low in there, but I don't think that you need to stick your kid with that many right off the bat.
And this
still goes back to why do the people who took the shot are not continuing to advocate for it? Why are they moving on, for God's sake?
Well,
why can't people who didn't take the shot?
I think a lot of people aren't moving on, though, because they actually did have some serious side effects. Stephen, don't you know somebody who actually
I know several people that actually
went into neurological lockdowns and stuff from the shot.
Everybody does. And
so there's proof that he had, or they had, some reaction that was neurological from the shot, not from anything else.
Well, here's the thing. here's the thing, Pat. Okay, we've got people that we know that have had the shot and they have the same symptoms right down the line, check mark right down the line, blood clots, heart problems. Yes. We got comments up there, Pat. What we got? We got anything cool?
Yeah, let's go back up here. Drew Vogel, Pat, you're right about the people who didn't take it, but it's also the opposite for people who did take it. They want to pretend it never happened. The future of the shots are unknown.
Yep.
Rebel Boy, we were censored and made silent when we posted stuff on Facebook about it. That's true.
Mm-hmm.
Why? Because it was the Democrats' plan to put the virus on the people. Nick says we who didn't have the jab want the long-term. We who didn't have the jab want the long-term effects of mRNA investigated thoroughly.
I agree.
Drew Vogel, were his kids forced to take the shots, or we don't have this information?
Well, these kids was 30 years ago. So, things are a lot different 30 years ago than they are now. We got to get to
Rebel
break.
Boy says Packy is on point, and I agree.
There you go. We got to get to break. One other thing that Carolyn Kennedy said about Bobby Kennedy said he keeps birds of prey as pets because Bobby himself is a predator. He enjoyed showing off by putting baby chickens and mice in a blender to feed his hogs. That is just.
I saw that. Yeah.
Okay. Well, is that not what they do to feed the hogs? They not grind them up a little bit? I mean, honestly, or they just toss them up in there and let them get them? I mean, come on.
Well, and Brad Alwyn just made a great point there too, Pat. I mean, how about all the people that have their vaccines? They didn't need to worry about the unvaccinated then, right? Why was it such a big deal? Why was it such a big deal forcing people to get the shot back then?
I don't think people who took the shot forced anybody else to take the shot.
Whoa.
Oh,
How many people in the military got fired because they wouldn't take the shot?
Who forced them?
The United States government forced them.
What about the pilot?
Who specifically in the government forced them? Don't be putting 300 million people in that we force the poor people to take a shot.
How many people lost their jobs? How many nurses lost their jobs? They were heroes at one time, and then they wouldn't take the jab, and then they weren't heroes.
Yeah, that's actually 100% true until the nurses said, well, we're going to quit if you force us to do that, and then the hospital's back down.
So nobody lost their job in nursing.
Yes, they did, Pat. Come on, man. CNN has ruined you. You're ruined. We got to get to a break, though. We're about to run out of time. We got some Chris Jansen tickets.
We do. We got Chris Jansen tickets to give away, and he's up at the Georgia Mountain Fairgrounds Anderson Music Hall. You got to call, though. You got to call 706-379-9770. That's our number over here at the station. But Pat Malone's got a Chris Jansen trivia question for you. Ain't that right, Pat?
No,
I do.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
No kidding.
I do.
All right, let's hear it.
Well, when are you going to do it?
Right now? Yeah.
Okay, the trivia question for today is, where did Chris Jansen buy his first harmonica?
Okay, where did Chris Jansen buy his first harmonica? Give us a call, 706-379-9770. We're going to take a break. All righty, we're back with you. Big shout out to Joey out there. Sent me a message on the teletype machine. We can't talk about that. But anyway, we've got a caller, and along with the Chris Jansen tickets, I got a box of moon pies from the Moon Pies. They have been doing moon pies since 1917. Can't go wrong with that. These are mint flavored moon pies, and they got a brand new flavor coming out. We're about out of moon pies. Maybe we'll have them for long. Who we got, Pat?
So we got Josh Lowe on the phone right now, too.
Look at there. Look at there, Josh. Oh, boy.
Hey, guys. How's it going?
Man, we wide open and sideways. That's why we like it. How about you, brother?
I'm doing good, just working. I listen to y'all every morning. I enjoy listening to y'all, even Packy and Patty.
Even Packy.
Wait a minute. I have a feeling you're talking about Pat.
No.
Yeah, sorry, Pat. Y'all's name is so similar, sometimes I get confused.
And they look alike, too.
Same haircut.
Yeah. All right, what's the question? Pat?
Where did Chris Jansen buy his first harmonica?
The Cracker Barrel.
Cracker Barrel.
You right. Congratulations. Wow.
You right.
Oh, right, man. I like Cracker Barrel. What do you get at Cracker Barrel when you go?
It just depends on the mood. If they got a good steak, you can never beat a good steak.
Country fried steak, man, or gravy. Are you serious?
How far have you made it in a little golf tee thing? Are you an ignoramus?
I'm not.
No.
The little game. You know what I'm talking about. I'm an ignoramus.
I always cheat. I cheat.
I do too.
I
take one to throw it over.
Yeah.
Hey, can I make a comment about what y'all were talking about a second ago with the about people losing their jobs over the vaccine?
Sure.
No. Yes.
my wife worked at the hospital in Union County when all this was happening at Union.
Yeah.
And they were going to fire her and several people that she worked with if they didn't take it, and they ended up finding a way around it about filling out some kind of form saying that our religious status was against it, and she ended up getting out of it. But if it wasn't for that, they would have fired her over it.
There you go.
What do you think about that, Pat?
Well, yeah, Pat, what you got to say about that?
But nobody got fired or lost their jobs because they didn't take it.
Really? So what about these military people that they just reinstated?
Yeah, what about
what's up with them?
Well, I guess
they just don't accept that.
you don't take the shots in the military. You don't get to go into the military.
Don't say
right?
no one. Hey, Josh, we're gonna put your name on the list. You show up and tell them your name, and they'll let you in. All right.
Appreciate you, man.
All right, I appreciate it.
Hey, we got a bunch more comments. We're about out of time. But
The only comment that stays up there is Packy's on point, and I agree.
Oh, whoops! Oh, did I leave that up there? What do you know?
Hey, before we go, Packy, do Pat's voice again.
Oh, I don't know what's going on.
That's your voice.
Well,
Packy.
MSNBC told me that Rachel Maddow told me that I'm transgender. I don't know what's going on.
We'll be back tomorrow,
Too
y'all.
much soy, Packy. Too much soy.
We need subscribers.
249 DP and WJULAM, Hiawassee. Well, look at here. Guess who's number one in the Nielsen ratings again?
97.7.